for a bit while we were.
Okay, and you're writing for it. Oh, right. And Rachel wants a copy of it. Can we do it? Oh, right.
So I exalt thee, I exalt thee where I stand, I exalt thee, oh Lord.
Hello. Hey, we're on. Thank you, Latifah. That was beautiful. Welcome. We are here to mark Good Friday, the day when Jesus died for our sin, for our salvation. And we're here under this steel cross to proclaim to Sheffield the truth of the gospel today. And it is an absolute pleasure to welcome you all. And we're going to have just a short time of reflection together this morning/afternoon. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start with When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. If you don't have a sheet, maybe just come to the front and somebody will give you one. They are somewhere.
it's appropriate that we meet in front of the town hall. Our thanks go to the council for allowing us to hold this, their contractors for putting up this cross at this Easter time. It's appropriate that we're standing here because 2,000 years ago, a similar crowd stood in front of a seat of government and they demanded the death. And the governor asked a very pertinent question: what shall I do with Jesus? And that's the question I think I'd like to share with you today. What shall we do with Jesus? Let's cut the question short and just ask, what shall we do? Because to be blunt with you, there is nothing that we can do. All of us are seeking to live a good life. All of us are seeking, I think, to live a better life. Perhaps some of us have got so disillusioned that we've given up because we find that no matter what we do, we fall short, we fail in many ways. Even the best of us don't live the kind of life that we know that we should live. On Palm Sunday, there was a great crowd crying out for Jesus, crying out in favour of Jesus. The fact that by Good Friday that crowd had just disappeared and melted away and that nobody went to the cross with Jesus is symbolic of the fact that every single one of us falls short. We can do nothing, but we can do nothing, and that is good news because Jesus has done everything for us. Jesus has lived that life that we want to live. He was the perfect Son of God. Even when they put him in front of Pilate, Pilate had to say, I find no basis of a charge against this man. He has done nothing wrong, nothing that deserves death. Jesus has lived the life that we all want to live. He was obedient even unto death on a cross. Have any of us lived a life like that? But more than that, when Jesus died on the cross, he broke the power of all the things that stop you living the life that you really want to live. The power of sin, the power of death, the power of depression, the power of sickness. Jesus broke all that power for your sake. And he did even more, because when he died on the cross, he bore in his body all the sufferings of the world, so that everything that you go through, the worst things that you go through, the most terrible things that you go through, Jesus has borne them all and lived through them all, and he has endured them all, has conquered them all for you. You can do nothing because Jesus has done it all. In view of that, what then shall we do with Jesus? There's a question. This city, you know, all our problems that we see in this city and in our wider society, they all stem from the fact that we don't live in the way that God wants us to live. But if God has opened the way through the cross for all those things that stop us living to be dealt with, then we can start living the kind of life Jesus wants us to live. We can do great things with Jesus.